Hello, and thanks for joining this video. We're going to go over how to complete the 2021 Open Enrollment Pre-Registration Form for 2021 Affordable Care Act health insurance plans. I'm here at the enroll.brhpc.org site, which is where you could go to input your information into the insurance benefit management services provided by Broward Regional Health Planning Council. You'll see here right at the top of the page the link to the 2021 pre-registration form. So you'll follow this link to the pre-registration form. There's an acknowledgement here right at the top, and it will ask who is completing this application, if you're the primary applicant, or if you're an assister or case manager. If you're an assister or case manager, it will ask for your first, last name, and email before you get into the rest of the form. I'll be going through basic information about each of the sections. Here we're in the primary applicant's basic information. You've got pretty much the basic information you would need to enroll a client in a marketplace plan. A few things that we want to point out. Vaping is included as a tobacco product for purposes of health insurance. You can also optionally provide a preferred spoken language, the race and ethnicity of the primary applicant, or a preferred written language. We would prefer, it is a mandatory field to provide your preferred contact method and preferred contact time. So what's the best way and what's the best time of day to get in touch with you? Excuse me. After that section, we're coming to a current income information section. So the form kind of follows the idea of we want to know what the current income is, but you have the opportunity to provide an estimated income for 2021 based off of your current income. So in this question here, you're asked if the client is receiving any type of current income. When you select yes here, you have three options for inputting different types of income for the primary applicant. If you have a spouse who's also earning income or a dependent, you can put that in later in the form. This is just for the primary applicant. You would enter the income type. There are a few pop-outs for salary and for self-employment income. So if you select that you're earning wages, you'd have to ask for the employer's name. Then you would provide a frequency and the amount that you earn. And a new feature of this form is that it will calculate further down in the form your estimated income. So here the form is calculated $750 a week to an annual income of $39,000 a year. But I'll get to that section here in a little bit. You're also able to kind of put in different types of income. So if you're, working W-2 somewhere, but also let's say driving Uber weekly, making $75, you can input those different income types into different sections of the fields. Next is the home mailing address. So here is another feature where we've connected this to a Google database. So basically you just start typing your address and it should pop up. If you need to put in a suite number or apartment number, you would add that in this field. You have the option to also indicate a separate mailing address if you would prefer if your home address and mailing address are different. The next section is your questions about your tax filing status and where you can input information about a spouse if that's applicable. You do have the first question here is, do you plan to file income taxes for 2021? Most of the times this should be yes. I believe to participate in the program that you are required to file taxes. Then it asks if your 2021 tax filing status. And here are the different IRS tax filing statuses. If you select that you're married filing jointly, you do have the option to put in information about your spouse. So for proper calculation of the advanced premium tax credit, this is very helpful information. Additionally, if you are married filing separately, you're not going to be eligible for an advanced premium tax credit, but you're still eligible to enroll in a marketplace plan. So at that point, we really don't need any information about your spouse, but if you are married filing jointly, we do need that information. If you are applying for coverage with your spouse, you would need to indicate that here. And if you are applying for coverage with your spouse, we do need Social Security, date of birth, and a little bit more information than if you are not applying for coverage. Within each person in this form, there's the opportunity to add additional income that person may be earning. So within each person, there's this question of, is this applicant's spouse currently receiving any types of income? Yes or no. So anytime a person is entered into this form, you can attach income to that person. So, if you say yes here, you can, just like the previous income fields, enter their income type, the nature of their self-employment, the frequency, and again, it will all add up down here in this gross household income field. So that applies to the primary applicant's income, spouse, and any other dependents. Moving on to the dependent information. If you are planning to claim any dependents on your tax return, you would indicate that here. There's room for up to 10 dependents, and within each dependent, again, here is the option to input if they are earning any type of income. There's a drop down of relationships here. All of these questions are going to kind of match the marketplace. So we wanted to make it as close to the marketplace application as possible, but without all of the additional steps. So we get down to this estimated income section, and we've got the calculated gross household income for this example, $48,900. Let me remove this dependent from here. So this is where you would indicate in the form what you want to put as your estimate for 2021. So again, we are calculating the current income and giving an annual number. However, if that number is not an accurate depiction of the client's 2021 income, you would want to click into this field and put an estimate. Okay, so it's really kind of meant to kind of give you a good starting point. I know that there's a lot of uncertainty with earnings right now given the pandemic. So I wanted to make it as easy as possible, but let's say you're going through this conversation with an applicant, or you don't remember what the calculation was. If you come back into any of these income fields and just re-enter the amount, it'll override what you had put in and put the calculation back in. So you have the option to kind of help calculate your current annual income based off current earnings, but also provide an estimate for 2021. So let's just, for this example, say that the current earnings is a good estimate for 2021. Here you are required to input your household size so that it will populate the FPL level. Then we get into the citizenship section. So there's a lot of good information here about are you a U.S. citizen or U.S. national? And these types of statuses should select yes. Then additionally, if there are any types of documentation that this person may have. If they don't have any of these other types, you just simply select no. Getting down to the other questions that are required in the marketplace, is the client a Native American or Alaskan Native? This is a question if you do have a client, or if you are a Native American or Alaskan Native, you do have different benefits that are available to you through the marketplace. So that is an important question. Is the client or any other female in the household currently pregnant? This is a Medicaid determination question, but it's included in marketplace applications. And then finally, if anyone in the client's tax household is offered coverage through an employer. So those are all very important mandatory questions that appear in marketplace applications that we want to discover from this form. If someone is offered coverage through an employer, there's some pop-up questions here. If you have any questions about this or what's affordable, you can certainly try to answer these questions. If you simply don't know, that's a valid response. If you have any questions, I suggest kind of calling in to the 844 number and speaking with a representative or an agent and kind of talking through your employer coverage situation. So really urge that if someone has any questions to just call in. And then finally, we're getting to the plan selection stage. We're asking if you already have a preferred health insurance plan selected for 2021. So one of the tricky parts about this form is that we do not know exactly what plans are going to be available in 21, but we do understand from the health insurance carriers that there aren't many changes. So many of the plans that are approved for 2020 will be approved or available for 2021. So if you do have a plan selection, you can enter that here. It'll ask you the carrier that you would like. You have those options. Once you select a carrier, it will pop out the plan names that are available or planned to be available for 2021. So finally, there's a follow-up question. After you select a plan, there's a question, if my health plan section is not available in 2021, please select one of the following. Basically, would you like us to contact you to discuss plans that are available, or would you allow Broward Regional Health Planning Council to select the most similar health plan? So for example, in this list, if the Gold 1505 is not available, but the Gold 1805 is, that would be kind of the logical next step if that plan weren't available. So if you're allowing the IBM contractor to kind of select the most similar plan to the plan that you selected that is approved, then that's kind of the logic that we'll follow. Basically, we'll stay in the same tier and network as the plan you selected. If that's not available, we would certainly reach out to you to discuss that situation. But I think those will kind of be few and far between. If we do reach out to contact you, again, it'll be based on those preferred methods and preferred times to contact. Additionally, if you have any files that you would like to upload to the agent completing the application, you're certainly welcome to do that here. And there's an open text field here for special instructions. So, if you want to say, hey, I want to make sure Dr. So-and-so is covered, we will run that through the system before enrollment to make sure that that is that doctor's covered, or any kind of instructions that you want to leave for Broward or for American Exchange agents completing these enrollments, you can do that here. Finally, there's just a quick disclaimer allowing the representatives to speak on your behalf to the marketplace or to health insurance carriers in regards to providing health insurance and healthcare benefits for you and your household. And then you hit submit. So I didn't go through all the required fields on this demonstration, but there is a confirmation email that will go to both the primary applicant and the assister. So there will be a confirmation email sent to the email within this field and within the assister email field. Again, thank you for looking into this. This is going to be a great tool to allow everyone to kind of get in before December 15th. So thank you very much and appreciate your time.